Hello and welcome to Perspectives of Jerry. This video series is meant to talk about things that I have seen in the last few decades of my life as I'm coming closer to 50 next year. Um, Looking at what things have changed. Today's perspective that we want to discuss is the disappearance of the retail uniform. Have you ever noticed that? You go into a store, a big box store. We're talking Walmart, Target, the old Shopko before it went bankrupt totally. Remember when you used to see people in uniform? Walmart, blue, blue shirt, probably a tank top said Walmart on the sleeve, a name tag area, maybe the vest as well. You go into Target, it was a red polo or red shirt of some sort. Khaki pants. Everybody loved khaki pants. I pretty much matched everybody's uniform. When I worked at Shopko 2+ decades ago, we had these awful drab olive green shirts with brown writing on them. It said Shopko on the sleeve. Had the logo on the side. You put your name tag on the other side. And of course, you would wear khaki with it because khaki and green is going to be a good color combination. I didn't work at corporate. I didn't make that decision. But then you go and you. But the thing is, though, I stuck out. Anybody who worked there, stuck out. So when customers came in, people could reliably see who worked for where and in the area. So if they needed immediate help, they can do it. Now, and I've seen that the total disappearance of it. I mean, people are barely even wearing pants without holes in them, much less any type of uniformity pants. And heck, one time I saw a guy, he was wearing lavender sweats, and I'm talking lavender sweat hoodie, sweat pants, white socks, tennis shoes, and then, of course, the traditional blue vest you see when you walk into Walmart. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. This is so lacking professionalism. Now, these are not professions, it's retail work. But I think when you are, now, in my opinion, when you are wearing a uniform, first off, people, shoppers know who you are. But second off, when you look like a team, well, you start to act like a team. And I think that's what's missing is that part of that teamwork. Now, in retrospect of it all, the uniforms have changed and uniforms have gone the way of the dodo. Now, part of this is due to online shopping. I mean, these stores as themselves are not making as much. So online shopping, that could kind of kill it, that type of profession. But but honestly, these brick and mortar stores that are still long lasting should keep going with it. I think, you know, the adaptation of these uniforms has gone away. Um, could be a couple different things. It could be a shift in behavior of both the people who work there and people who shop there. But when I worked at a store, I prefer to have a uniform. I prefer to know what I'm wearing on a daily basis, just so it makes it easier for me to pick out my clothes in a day. But apparently, some places prefer to pick their own style and go from there. But I just don't like the cleanliness of it. It doesn't look neat, doesn't look clean. I don't know who I'm talking to. I could be talking to a manager. I could be talking to the person who just got out of training. But in any case, I want to see a uniform. Now, I believe in my perspective on things that, budgets change, but I remember back in the day that when you were a full-time worker, you got issued 3 shirts to rotate throughout the week. If you were a part-timer, you got 1 shirt, maybe 2, and you always had the option to buy more. I mean, these shirts were a tougher material, kind of probably a little warm, but they were meant to take the rough and tumbled time of being in work, especially in retail. And anybody who's worked in retail who's watching this video right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. You are unboxing things. You are full of dust and dirt. You are going around metal shelves, getting yourself caught on things. These uniforms can't be of a flimsy material. They have to be something tough, and these are expensive, and I get that. But I think that if you really want to have something like that, you should. What's the word? What's the thing I'm looking for? Like I said, I think having that type of thing, these are rough and tumble things. First off, the people who work there are not ruining their own clothes, as far as the shirt is concerned. Getting it dirty, dusty, greasy, whatever. I mean, I grew up on a farm. Okay, there's no uniform on a farm. It's jeans, a shirt, and you know that you're going to be full of crud when you get done with your day. Heck, you'll be full of crud by the time you're done, feeding the calves in the morning. But, when you're working in retail, you're going to be full of dust and dirt and grime and sweat and whatnot. And you just rotate for the next shirt through and go for the next day. And I think that's the problem we're looking at now, is because we're not going into that uniformity any longer. So now you're ruining your own clothes, your regular clothes that now you're now have to be washed and now will not last you as long because you used them for work. So while I look at these kind of things, all these kind of clarifying ideas, it's just something I think we miss. There's just, it's a team effort. I think I want people to feel like they look at it like a team. When I ran my own restaurant, they had a uniform shirt. They were actually free to wear whatever pants they like. I encouraged khakis, but as long as it was something they could bend and move and not mind getting mayo on, whatever their pants were. And of course, they always had a hat that said the logo of the restaurant on it. But you knew who the employees were. And I think I still see uniforms inside of food service, which is great. But big box stores, not seeing as much more. And I'm not talking like your Kohl's, Sephora. This is where you're encouraged to dress in clothes from that store in order to, kind of show off what you're working with, or show off what you're trying to sell. That's fine. That's great. Those type of niche stores, perfect. But big box ones, Best Buy, blue polo, khaki or black pants. Sears. When I worked at Sears a long time ago. The shirts we had color, we had choice. Wear a white shirt, wear a black shirt, polo or long sleeve button down. Pants, black or khaki. That was the uniform. You had to wear some kind of combination of that. And you still knew who the staff members. I mean, obviously we had our name tag lanyards and stuff on as well. But at least I knew what I was wearing every day. Take some of the choices out, it makes it a little easier. So in the end, I'm thinking, I'm thinking what would, I'm thinking they should make a bring back of that. I know it'll cost extra money to these stores, but maybe, I don't know, they could make less money. I mean, they're certainly not making their money by paying spending money on their employees. The minimum wage is terrible these days, but I'm not going to get into that. That's a way different video. But I think they could just spend a little money, make sure that everybody has a shirt, has a good name tag. Maybe give them an allowance for getting pants. Heck, for these retail spots like Walmart and Best Buy and or Walmart and Target that actually sell clothes, perfect. You have built-in employees. Make sure they have a discount. Go. But in any case, what do you guys think? Guys, gals, men, women. What do y'all think? Do you think uniforms or some type of store uniform should be brought back into existence? for the sake of uniformity and the sake of clarity of who's working and who isn't. Let me know what you think in the comments. While you're at it, and while you're down there in the comments, make sure that you like this video, because that's going to help me out. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more of these perspective videos. And, and honestly, if there's something you want to know a perspective on, ask that in the comments. I will love to hear from you. Okay? All right, well, thank you very much. I'm going to end these videos like I ended my videos in my last series on a different channel, with making sure to let you know that I want you to make sure you drink more water, get healthy sun, get out and get some fresh air with some activity in, eat clean if you possibly can. Make sure that you are kind to animals. Make sure you're kind to the environment. We only got the one. Make sure that you are kind to people that you meet on a daily basis. These people are going through battles that you know nothing about, and you don't want to be part of the problem. And always, always make sure that you are kind to yourself. All right? Thank you very much. That's my perspective on the day. If you have any questions, please ask them below. I'll see you in the next one.